Project Playtime is a new multiplayer experience in the universe of Poppy Playtime by Mob Games. This is an early access game, so keep that in mind while I give my criticisms. The game is not completed yet, but it sure has some interesting problems with it. But before I get into the problems, I want to quickly discuss what I like about this game. Project Playtime has you play as either the survivors or the big bodies, the monsters of the Poppy Playtime universe. This is really cool. It's sort of a Dead by Daylight sort of game. It's not nearly as complex as Dead by Daylight, fortunately. But yeah, it's really cool. And I really like the concept. Basically, the objective is the survivors have to solve a variety of puzzles to get toy pieces, and then take those toy pieces to a machine, put the whole thing together, and escape on a train while the monsters, the big bodies, are coming after them. And I use that in plural, but it's really just one monster versus the survivors. And if the monster catches you and you can't escape its clutches, you get thrown in the gulag, where you have to do the Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 minigame of Whack-a-Wuggy until somebody saves you, or you just straight up die. And you have 3 lives as each survivor. It's pretty cool if it ran correctly. Now we're going to go into the problems for this multiplayer game. Like I said, it's still early access. I really think they should have just kept this game under wraps. They should have not released it until much later and shouldn't have teased it so early. I understand you want to get the hype before Chapter 3 comes out in 2023, Mob Games. But yeah, just watching people play, this looks rough. So many bugs, so many issues. There's more than I could possibly count. But there are things just from the gameplay perspective I want to talk about real quickly. First off, being the puzzles. There are essentially, 2 or 3 different types of puzzles. One is a memorization with a keyboard, another is a reactionary lights test, and then the third is there's a bunch of dots that light up and you have to memorize the pattern. So the reactionary one, where it's just the wheel and you just have to hit the light at the time it shines, is not bad. That one is fine. That one works fine. The piano one seems like it goes on a little bit too long. Let me scoot back a little bit. If you get these puzzles wrong, it alerts the big bodies, the monsters, and they can come after you. So that's why you want to get these puzzles right on the first go. Like I said, this is very Dead by Daylight, sort of. So yeah, you got to be careful, and you can get these puzzles wrong pretty easily. Not just because of bugs, but because for the piano one, I think it goes on far too long. You have to do it 4 times, I believe, when you should really only have to do it 3. Brains really like the pattern of 3, and it's just really weird that you have to do the segment more than 3 times. Then you have the big problem, which is the puzzle is too difficult for the one with the multiple lights that shine, and you have to do the right pattern. It's great that it's only 2 rounds, but they need to make it smaller, because memorizing all those patterns is too difficult for a normal person. I mean, heck, even Matt Pat from Game Theory, the smartest YouTuber alive, had some trouble with it. So I think that says enough. And this is marketed towards kids, so you really need to be aware of that. But yeah, there's a lot of lore in this game that I'm not going into right now, but it looks like the future of this game is very bright. There's a lot of cosmetic features. There's going to be a battle pass. It's free to play, which is always a plus. So I think in a few months, once they kind of get the bugs fixed and hopefully tweak some of the gameplay elements, we could have a really good Poppy Playtime game separate from the main series.